Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to episode 4 of Minecraft Insomnia. Today we have a very big task ahead of us because we've got to find ourselves some very important tools which, well, are only found within the deep depths of the Nether. But before we do that, there's a couple of things that we need to track down to make that a little bit easier, and a couple of projects to finish up around here on the outside. As you can see, I'm digging out the sides around my main home. As we talked a little bit in the last episode, I actually think that I want to add or move these posts out away from the actual build itself so they stand distinctly different from the walls that are going to be put in. We've also crafted ourselves another netherite ingot, but this one is going to be used for a lodestone because we are going to need that as well as this compass that we're about to make here to make sure that we have a way to get back home from the next endeavor. And I think that you may have already picked up on what that's going to be. But we'll get to that in just a brief moment, because I'm trying to make a decision here about what I want to do with these pillars. You'll see that I'm starting to move them out and away to pronounce those corners. I have a bunch of this chiseled quartz left over from some of the flooring projects that I was doing, and I haven't decided if I want to leave these chiseled quartz blocks as the corner pieces here. I'm entertaining the idea of maybe using a lodestone there as well. But this lodestone is going to stay right here because we need to set our compass to it, and we need to use that to make sure that we can make our way home as we are venturing out into the depths of the Nether to find ourselves a Nether fortress. And right here, we've gone about as far as we can on the lowest elevation. Got ourselves the achievement of visiting each of the 5 biomes located within the Nether. I'm honestly a little surprised that didn't happen earlier with all of the mining that we've been doing for ancient debris down below the lava lakes. But that's really what we were doing, and now we continue forward. So we had a very close call right here when I stumbled off the edge. And the funny thing is, well, first off, I survived because I was on full hearts, as if I would have even been a half heart down, that would have killed me. But the funny thing is because of all the fire resistance armor that we had, if I had corrected back into the lava, yes, we would have caught fire, but all things considered, we would have ended up taking less damage. I mean, yes, lava is a scary thing to fall into, but it doesn't cause fall damage. It kind of breaks your fall the same way that water does, but a lot more painful because it actually burns. So as we were traversing around, this was actually within a minute of falling down there and getting back up to the top. As you see there in the zoom that we have with our lovely Optifine here, we were able to locate the outer extremities of another fortress. So now it's just all that's required is to tower on in and find our way through this fortress. Now there's 2 main things that we are looking to pull out of this Nether fortress. The first, of course, is blaze rods, because we're going to need those to craft ourselves some Eyes of Ender, as we need to make our way to the end at some point and get an elytra, as that's going to really help us with overall traversal quite a bit. We also need to make sure that we can get ourselves some nether wart for potions, as well as some different crafting materials. Now, of course, the 2 main concerns of raiding a nether fortress is the fact that we have to take on wither skeletons in addition. But that was the first wither skeleton I ran into, and wouldn't you know it, I ended up getting myself a wither skeleton head. Which doesn't happen very frequently because they have like a 2% drop rate. It's very rare that you would get one on your first try. So we'll continue to knock these guys out and grab some of the goods that they have. And, well, at this point it's mainly just coal and bones, as throughout my entire duration of my ventures here within the Nether Fortress, I was not fortunate enough to actually walk away with another wither skeleton head. But now we know where they are, so we can come back around, set up a better platform for them, and farm a little bit better and easier here. So I do tend to use my flint and steel to mark the area a little bit more efficiently with fire, since everything stays on fire in the Nether. And right here we have found ourselves our secondary objective in collecting ourselves some nether wart. And now we can set up a farm back home to make sure that we have what's needed to grow them on our own. And there goes our first blaze rod, so I guess we better go run down and collect it. It's not too far of a fall, but I'd rather reduce that fall where and when possible. So walking our way over to this, we end up collecting the blaze rod and narrowly avoiding some oncoming fire from that blaze off there in the distance. Now, my underlying objective here is to make our way out of this nether fortress with an entire stack of blaze rods plus one, because I don't want to have to use one of the blaze rods out of my stack of blaze rods collected to make myself a brewing stand, because potions are going to be nice, especially as we gear up to head our way into the end. Because I would rather be able to go in with some potions of slow falling, healing, other stuff, wherever we can before attempting to take on that fight. Now, at this blaze spawner, we've got ourselves dancing around it, hopefully baiting out some of those fire charges to make our life a little bit easier. Doesn't appear to be the case as much, but we're getting better at that as we continue taking out some of these blazes and collecting their goods. Of course, not on that one either. But the other thing that was kind of in the back of my mind during this whole segment is the fact that, well, I didn't want a wither skeleton sneaking up on me, so I needed to take a brief second and set up an additional barrier here, just to make sure that they don't come around and take me by surprise. Now, I probably didn't need to expand the bar all the way across and make it symmetrical, but for the aesthetic, why wouldn't you? It just makes things look a lot cleaner. And we go about collecting a bunch more of these blaze rods as well as we go. But I'm not going to have you sit here and watch me collect all 65 of them, so we will get back to that here in just a bit. But let's finalize our defenses here. Just make sure that the wither skeletons cannot sneak up behind me and take me unawares. Now, I guess I didn't really recognize this, but ghasts, I knew that their fire charges couldn't explode certain things. I didn't realize that they couldn't explode these fence gates, which kind of makes sense, because if they can't explode nether brick, why would they be able to explode nether brick components? But that blaze floated away from us, so we'll cut back to our further collection. Just a couple more blaze rods to grab here, end up getting one off of both of these guys. And with hopefully just one more, I was hoping it would be this guy over here, but a couple more spawned in and let me capture the goods from them, which was kind of nice, as it meant that I didn't have to run around as much or linger too much longer, because with that rod that's just dropped, that is our 65th and final, at least for this trip, blaze rod that we are going to need. So we'll want to make sure we are keeping a pendant eye on our lodestone as we make our way out of here to navigate back towards our nether portal. And about 45 minutes later, we managed to do just that, and I am elated that we were able to make it back, because that was a bit of a dangerous trip, but all the better for it, because we have many new resources to work with. Remember those turtles I bred up once upon a time? Well, I apparently got really busy, forgot about them, and not only did they hatch, but they fully grew, which is unfortunate, because I would have liked to have had a chance to get a turtle shell from them growing up. But we'll go ahead and saddle up a bunch of our skeleton horses here, because we can. I think we made our way out of that fortress with about 5 or 6 saddles. So, no shortage on those goods anymore. Too bad I'm not playing on a server where I can share those with people. Got ourselves a brewing stand put together, so we'll set that up in our little cave back here. I was thinking about putting it over on that bookshelf to the left, but that's where my anvil goes, and I will be remaking that here shortly. We do manage to grab ourselves a Silk Touch pickaxe, which is going to be very, very helpful for one of the next phases of our home build here. And as you see, we are finishing up today's episode by getting ourselves a nether wart farm put together, which I'm going to need for brewing some potions and also making ourselves some red nether bricks, because I think that those ones look a lot nicer. But let me know what you think of this series, and if you were just as terrified as I was on this adventure. And don't forget to subscribe for more daily content, as there's videos coming to you every single day. Next episode of Minecraft Insomnia will be coming to you this upcoming Thursday, and we've got another Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 video planned for you tomorrow. So thanks again for watching, and I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day.